Hey, this is going to be another video, and this video is going to be on homosexuality and reincarnation. I just made this video, and there was so much static, and it was awful, so now I have to redo it, but that's okay, because I have a strong will to do this. Once again, I'm sorry about the quality. I know this is kind of a lot blurrier and you can see the blue static in the background, but I like I said, I don't have means of doing this. I will take these off so you won't see the reflection of the computer screen in the background. Like, comment if you have questions, I don't know, share, subscribe. I'm not really going to be into that thing too much because this is just watch it if you want to. I'm not going to make you. I can't make you. But do what you will. The first thing I'm going to be discussing is how reincarnation and homosexuality go hand in hand, and how homosexuality is a byproduct of reincarnation. It is, and I will explain how that is. Reincarnation is the concept of going through multiple lives on this earth. It is a thing. Don't have to believe me, but take what you will. People who have same-sex desires have gone through lives in the past, their own past lives, as the opposite gender, and then they go into the next life as the gender they are attracted to. That is why that happens. Why they come back as the same gender as they're attracted to can be many different reasons. It can be they wanted to try. It could be karma. Say a man is very sexist in past life, or a woman is, and they go into the next life as the opposite gender to get a taste of how it feels to be the other. A lot of that happens a lot. Don't surprise yourself. A lot of women these days who are very strong feminists, and I don't mean like the kind that are like, hey, let's just do what we want. I mean the kind that are like, destroy all men. Those people have been men in their past lives, I can guarantee you. Anyways, but yeah, they were an opposite gender in one of their or many of their previous lives, and they are now a different gender, and they are still attracted to the gender they were once attracted to. And it just so happens that they're in the body of a woman and they're attracted to women, or they're a man in the body, etc., etc. This is perfectly natural. There is nothing wrong with it. Heaven acknowledges that this happens a lot, and heaven doesn't have a problem with it. I know what it says in the book. I know what it says in Leviticus. I know what it says, what you think it says in Sodom and Gomorrah. I know what you think it says as well. Sorry, my thing just went. There we go. Just switched for some reason. And I know what you think it says in the New Testament. It's not true. A hell of a thing to say, I know. Don't get me wrong, I'm aware of that, but I'm going to present to you as much evidence I can to show you. Now, our first example of a very blatant mistranslation is Kada. And I will note that I'm not an expert on Hebrew. I don't speak it. I don't know the alphabet. I haven't taught it to myself yet. But these few examples are, especially this one I'm going to do right now, is very easy to explain. Anyone can see it. The word Kada, or Kadesh, in Hebrew, in its context, in its language, means temple prostitute. But in modern day Bibles, not all, most of them, the word they use for that is homosexual. It's a big difference, isn't it? Because you see, in context of a temple prostitute, there would be this thing happening called idolatry. And although it can happen these days with homosexuality, we're strictly just talking about two men or women or whatever, you know, there's a lot of different options. Doing the thing, whether it's within monogamy or without. But the texts in the Hebrew, the Greek, the Aramaic, they do not say, "Thou shalt not put thy penis in that man's butthole." They do not say that. They do not say anything like that. They do not say, "Thou shalt not be a homosexual," because that was not a word that was invented back then. Yeah, fun fact. In Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic, and other biblical transcript languages, there is no word for homosexual. What is my main point? Homosexual, the word itself, its invention, was invented only a little while ago. It is only, as far as my research goes, my proper research, the word homosexual is only a couple hundred years old. And it is in English translations of scriptures that are more than 1,000 years old. Yeah, just let that sink in for a minute. But anyways, yes, that blatant mistranslations of temple prostitute. That's a thing. And actually, just for example, there's even, I don't remember the version, unfortunately, but there is a Bible version that actually, instead of using homosexual, it correctly uses catamites. And you see, catamite means a boy that is kept for homosexual practice unwillingly.
Hey, Maggie.
Yeah?
Hello?
Yes!
Ron's laying right in front of the store, so be careful when you come up, okay?
Okay. Sorry, just interruptions. So yeah. What's another one I can go into? Oh, here's another one, Malakos. Now, I will note that even scholars are a little bit hesitant about the affinity of the word. But this is what they have for Malakos. And Malakos is, it is Greek. Common Greek, Alexandrian Greek, that kind of Greek. And in English, the word they've attached to Malakos is effeminate or homosexual once again. Now, in Blue Letter Bible, I recommend you check that out as well. You can just play around with it and figure out how it's used. It's not very hard. I figured it out, and I'm not techie, as you can see. These are the various definitions for it. Of a catamite, a boy kept for homosexual relations with a man. Of a male who submits his body to unnatural lewdness. Of a male prostitute. So within context, this word is combined with rape of a male, rape of a boy, male prostitution, and most likely idolatry. Nowhere does it say Adam and Steve are getting funky out of idolatry, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyways. But yeah, those are some fun facts. A book I strongly recommend, and it's just a chapter you check out that you read. The textbook is called Christianity, Social Tolerance, and Homosexuality. It's by John Roswell. I recommend you read chapter 4 because it talks about everything I have and am going to talk about regarding these subjects. As well, if you go onto Google and you just type in these exact words, the Bible is not against homosexuality. There are articles and stuff that will come up to go deeper into this. And if you even go onto a website that is called OurSpiritNow.org, it will give you a few facts. I got my research from all these examples I'm giving. I have not done the scholarly research myself and found and discovered this. I found this online, and I just pulled it all together. I did not technically write any of this stuff, so I just found it, and I'm presenting it because obviously a lot of people have no idea what's out there. But anyways, there was lots I haven't mentioned. I'm going to mention it in the future. But what we're going to get into now then also is why the churches don't teach this. And there are a variety of reasons. 1, the spirits behind the church don't want you to know the truth. 2, the people in the church don't want you to know the truth, and they like their own confabulation of God. 3, not being educated. 4, it has been intentionally changed because higher-ups from back then, being in the past, knew that eventually people were going to get to a certain point within their reincarnation cycles where they would be the opposite gender of what they are comfortable or have been for quite a long time. And they would start having feelings towards someone of the same gender. They didn't like it. They wanted to shame it. That's why. Do not listen to pastors and priests and doctrines that say that this is wrong. This is not something you control. As a spiritual person, do I know if you will ever be able to find it within DNA? Honestly, I have no idea. Either way, if you did, I wouldn't be surprised. If you didn't, I wouldn't be surprised. But this is something of your soul. This is not a choice. This is who you've been through the past hundreds of years and past dozens of lives, and it's changed, and that part of you hasn't changed. What you're attracted to hasn't necessarily changed. And so that's why you identify as lesbian. That's why you identify as gay. That's why you are transgender. That's why you are whatever. So do not feel bad. Do not let them belittle you. And if you see someone preaching about it, politely refer them to all these examples I'm giving. And say, listen, you need to look some stuff up. Because it is not as simple as that. And yeah, they're going to say reincarnation isn't real. One life, one judgment. And that's no. That's not how this world works. I'm sorry, it's not. I understand that doctrine, but this is what I'm going to say to you as well. I'm pretty sure it says in the Bible that the disciples did not know everything. And they didn't. There was stuff they were not told. There was stuff they were too ignorant and unable to know. So yeah, maybe Paul did say one life, that's it. They didn't even realize that John the Baptist was the reincarnation of Elijah, half of them. How can you expect them to preach perfectly? They preached good. They preached better than anyone else who would have been selected, which is why they were selected. But they didn't know everything, sorry. It's real. Homosexuality is a byproduct of it. And you can push the argument. In the Garden of Eden, it wasn't there. Yeah, you know what else wasn't in the Garden of Eden? Divorce. Multiple marriages. Guess what happened after? Right after. multiple marriages. King David had multiple wives, and he's seen as one of the most righteous beings in all of the Bible. And you can argue, oh, that was one of his sins. No, God never addressed that sin. He never blatantly said to him, you can't have more than one wife. That's a sin. Never said that. Jesus said, ideally, yeah, just take one person, because that is ideal. That's in-depth, true, and that's love. That's one's already hard enough to manage. Like, how could you take multiple? And to be honest with you, back then, multiple marriages was only with women who were of low status. So I can guarantee you that Jesus promoted one marriage partner because he didn't want all these women just feeling like objects, which is what they were to a lot of people. It is not a miscarriage of post-fall Christian theology. Just something that happened. And there's nothing wrong with it. I will pray and hope you consider. Check out all my references. Like I said, I have my WordPress blog. I also have my Tumblr. I will give a future reference. Do not be ashamed of your soul.